Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Football Man Sam. We are here back with a brand new video where we will be starting a new series, and in this series we are going to be discussing the ins and outs of certain clubs. Now obviously, with me being a Liverpool fan, in this video we are going to be starting with Liverpool players that I think should leave and Liverpool players that I think they should try and sign. So we're going to start with the ones I think should leave Liverpool. My first one is Divock Origi. I don't have anything against Divock Origi. I just don't simply think he's good enough for Liverpool. He's only got 3 league goals this season, and in my opinion, I think his 2 goals against Barcelona and the second goal in the Champions League final last season has kind of saved his Liverpool career slightly. If it wasn't for those 3 goals, I believe he might have been moved on this season. But so he's got a bit of a cult hero status for those goals with Liverpool fans, but I just don't think he's good enough. He's had plenty of chances this season to get more than 3 goals this season, and he just simply hasn't provided. I don't think he offers that much in attack going forward. I don't think he does enough for a player that are competing for top trophies. You know, if you're needing a goal in the last 15-20 minutes and you look at Divock Origi, you're not going to be that excited. You know, we need something a little bit more stronger to come off the bench. He lacks that. He's just got something missing for me. I don't get excited when I know Origi's coming, or I don't feel like we're going to score when Origi's on the pitch. But that's just my feeling. It's different to. It might be different to certain other Liverpool fans, but that's one player I think should leave. Well, Liverpool should release this season. Next one is Dejan Lovren. I think he's just he just got too many mistakes within him, which has obviously cost Liverpool many goals in the past. If you're looking at you know, choices for centre backs at the moment, we've obviously got Van Dijk and we've got Gomez, who since the start of the re-season has cost us a few goals and has looked a bit shaky, but I think he'll come good. He's young, he's only going to get better. And we've also got Joe Matip, who I actually quite like for backup centre half. I know we need, you know, we can't just have the one spare option, but I believe Liverpool will try and strengthen in defence in the summer. But Dejan Lovren you can't rely on him, especially when you're trying to go up for titles, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues. He's so irrational. He's crazy. He doesn't think what he does. You know, he dives in too far. He dives in too many times. You know, he's too he reminds me a bit like a David Luiz. It's not a player I'd want at my club. And then if I believe correctly, I think Zenit St. Petersburg are coming. I think they're quite close to agreeing a deal for 10 million. I mean, if that's true, if Liverpool have managed to get 10 million for Dejan Lovren for a 31-year-old, that's a good deal by Liverpool. But yeah, I think his time at Liverpool is up, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, but that's what I think should happen. The next one is not. I think he's leaving not by choice. It's Adam Lallana. He's obviously out of contract with Liverpool. You know, he's been at the club 6 years. He's been a fantastic servant for the club. I just think injuries have halted his progress and his authority to stamp his authority on the starting 11. He's made cameo appearances. You know, for example, his goal at Old Trafford this season to get the 1-1 draw. He's scored many. He's scored many goals. I just don't think he's, like I said, stamped his authority on the team. He's too in and out due to injuries. You know, and he's been at the club 6 years, and he's been a fantastic player for Liverpool. I think Liverpool fans would be quite sad to see him go, but I do think it's right for him to now move on elsewhere. You know, I'm not too sure where he's going to go. There'll be a few Premier League clubs interested in Adam Lallana, no doubt about that. But obviously with him being out of contract, he'd have to leave Liverpool. But I'd just like to wish Adam all the best. You know, he's a fantastic player, and I'm sure someone will snatch him up. Okay, we move on to the last ones for the outs is Ryan Brewster. I don't think he should leave, not at all. I think he should go out on loan, and I think he should go out on loan to a lower-sided Premier League team. He's proven his worth at Swansea. He's got 10 goals since joining in January, I believe, in the Championship. And obviously with the playoffs coming up, I'm sure he'll be massive for them in the playoffs. But a lot of fans will say they would like to see him try and get some more game time in Liverpool first team. I don't think it's quite time. I just think he needs a little bit more experience, get some Premier League experience under his belt. Out at lower teams like, I don't know, Brighton's, those sort of teams, you know, even if Swansea come up, you know, go back at Swansea for the season, just to get a season in the Prem under your belt, playing regular and getting minutes under your belt. Because I think come time he will be fantastic. I think he's one for the future for Liverpool. Also, he's an attacker as well, which I think, you know, Liverpool do lack in reinforcements, which I'll come on to in a minute. But yeah, I'd like to see Brewster get some more time, and I'd like to see him get some experience in the Premier League. Okay, we move to the players coming in. That's players who I think Liverpool should sign, and obviously the first one we'll start is Thiago. That's a transfer rumour that's been going around for a long time. If my understanding is correct, I believe Liverpool and Thiago have agreed personal terms. I think it's just a case of trying to agree a purchase deal price for Thiago with Bayern Munich. And I have read a few articles today that they have agreed a 30 million euro deal. Whether that's true, I'm not too sure, but I do believe it's one Liverpool will pull through. I think they will agree a deal with him, and I think Thiago's a player that Liverpool kind of need, especially in the midfield area. Excuse me, where we lack that little bit of creativity. Obviously, we've got quite a strong midfield in terms of just keeping a solid midfield, if that makes sense. You know, you've got your Hendersons, you've got your Kaitas, you've got your Wijnaldums, you've got, you know, Fabinho. But when we go forward, we just need that almost like a Coutinho type player. Thiago isn't quite a Coutinho type player, but that kind of thinking, you know, who can pick that pass where maybe other midfielders we have wouldn't see. So I think that would be a good signing in both parts, because obviously he doesn't want to be at Bayern Munich anymore. His contract is out soon. So it would just make sense for Liverpool to go out and sign Thiago, in my opinion. So we move on to Ben White. He was on loan at Leeds last season from Brighton. 22-year-old. Looks a solid defender. I've watched him quite a few times play for Leeds this season. There's also quite a few Premier League teams interested in him. I think he'd be a very good addition to our defence, especially with, like I said, Dejan Lovren looking like he's leaving Liverpool. We just need some more reinforcements, and I really do like the look of Ben White. You know, he's powerful for a 22-year-old. He's quite mature. He doesn't make stupid decisions. Obviously, he's going to still make the odd mistake. Every player still does, but not as many as Dejan Lovren will. And I think under Klopp, I think he could be a really good addition. I think he'd progress really well. Learning from Van Dijk would be brilliant for him. So it's just going to be a case of where he wants to go. I would like to see him at Liverpool. I really would. But that's just my opinion. Another one, which is another centre half, is Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. It's looking like Bournemouth are going to be going down. And I believe Man City are going for Ake as well. Obviously, I would like to see Ake start for Liverpool. A lot of fans will probably disagree and say Gomez, but Gomez is still learning and still young. Whereas with Ake, he's proved himself in the Premier League. I think he's been pivotal to Bournemouth when they have won games. He looks solid, you know, and he's also very, very dangerous in the opponent's half from set pieces. We've seen that numerous times, scoring goals for Bournemouth. So, you know, it is looking like Bournemouth will go down. I'd love Liverpool to go out there and sign Nathan Ake, especially to start with Van Dijk. You know, both being Dutch again would just be a little bit more stronger, should we say? Because obviously they play for the same country. But do I think it will happen? Most probably not. I think he will go to City, but you know, I think it's a player Liverpool should definitely try. But that one's just going to be a waiting game to see what happens with Ake, whether he wants to go Man City, whether he wants to go Liverpool. I think he's going to have many choices to choose from, so it's going to be interesting to see. We move on to my attack and reinforcement. Now, a lot of people probably wouldn't have heard of this player. He plays in the Liga. He plays for Real Betis. His name's Lorenzo Moran. He's a 26-year-old striker. He's on, I believe, 16 goals this season for Real Betis in the Liga. And when we're talking about, you know, reinforcements for Liverpool going forward, if you're talking about the front three, if one of them get injured or go missing for whatever reason it may be, we haven't got strong reinforcements whatsoever. Like I said, Origi, but like I said, I want him to be offloaded. He scored quite a few goals wherever he was on. He was on loan when he was a couple of years ago on Alaves, I think he was, and he got a bag of handful of goals there. Yes, it's not the Premier League, but these players aren't going to get the chance unless someone gives them the chance. And I think, you know, if you're talking someone scoring 16 goals in the Liga, it's not a bad return. So it's definitely, I think Liverpool, you know, should go and sign him. Whether they probably won't. Not many teams, like I said, will probably have heard of him. But I think you know, it'd be a brilliant option to have. You know, someone who can score goals off the bench, be brilliant. But whether he would want to come to Liverpool and sit on a bench, I don't know. Obviously, he's not going to break the front three, but it'll give us that goal scoring option off the bench, whether it's through an injury, whether it's later on in the game and the front three are getting a little bit tired, to bring on fresh legs. There's many different options. But again, that's a player I'd like to see Liverpool sign. I'm not saying I want Liverpool to sign all these. These are the options. So don't think, oh, Liverpool aren't going to sign all of them. I don't want them to sign all of them. It's just players I would like to see Liverpool try and sign. Whether it's Nathan Ake, whether it's Ben White, whether it's Morano, you know, whoever it may be. I just want Liverpool to go out and strengthen. Because I think if we're going to try and challenge to regain the Premier League title next year, we really are going to need to strengthen our team. But whether Klopp will, I don't know. I think we will sign Thiago, but from there, you know, who knows? So that it's a waiting game. But yeah, that is the end of my video for today, where we discussed the ins and outs at Liverpool Football Club. If you did agree, or if you didn't agree, or if you got any other players who you'd like to see Liverpool try and sign, let me know in the comment section below. That'd be brilliant. Remember to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We're on the way to 50, currently on 26, which is amazing. So if we can try and hit that 50 mark, that'd be sick. So guys, until the next video, I will see you later.